Festival of the Lost has been pretty good to me this time around, all things considered, but probably the best drop I got this time was the Braytech Werewolf with what I think is a perfect 5 out of 5 roll that has some of the best reach I have seen in an auto rifle in this game. If nothing else, I'd love for you to note 3 things in particular in this gameplay. First is the lack of recoil. Like, this thing is straight beaming people from downtown, and it's without the assistance of Zen Moment or dynamic sway reduction. The second thing I want you to notice is the range at which we can beam people without moving off the head. Ranges usually, I'd be thinking about using a pulse rifle. And the third thing is the kill chaining potential after that initial kill is secured. So the Braytech Werewolf is an absolute powerhouse of a weapon right now, and the addition of a brand new perk takes it to new heights. Let's pop the hood, take a quick look. First and foremost, I acquired my roll by focusing drops with Ava, seen here after attempting to reclaim the Holy Grail but forgetting to be penitent. Let me go ahead and show you the roll that I'm working with up front so you know what you'll be seeing in the background. We've got the highest possible range on this one with hammer forged rifling for plus 10, ricochet rounds for 10 more stability and 5 more range, and a range masterwork for another 10 range. This puts the range value to 94, and it extends the base range of the weapon's damage drop-off by 5.3 meters. That's a lot. All the way out to 38.25 meters before getting hit with a damage penalty. That's more than 6 meters past the summoner's drop-off range for comparison's sake. I mean, as far as autos go, that's pretty freaking wild. But beyond that, I'm also rocking Lone Wolf for that passive bonus to aim assist, ADS speed, and airborne effectiveness. It's really that AA boost, that aim assist boost, that makes this thing scary as a dueler at range. Because usually, the reticle will bounce off of the target from these distances. Those of us who use auto rifles know that. We're kind of used to that. But that extra AA makes this thing stickier than a trucker's mattress. That faster ADS speed is also going to stack with the origin trait Surge Party, and you can see when both of these perks are active just how snappy this thing is when I ADS in the background footage. And finally, I am rocking Kill Clip for that flat 25% damage boost after reloading after a kill. That's going to be my kill chaining juice right there, and it's why I was able to hit a WeRan on Disjunction here. The addition of Onslaught in the perk pool in the second column is also pretty cool, and I would totally not fault you if you went that route as well. But this is really the new juice for this weapon. Most of the other combinations are they're either things we've already had or just like a different spin on the exact same, kind of roll that we've had in the past. So these are the 2 things that really stand out to me are Lone Wolf and Onslaught. But I'm going to stick with Kill Clip. I just like the pacing of it a little bit better. I got to admit, though, it is kind of weird reviewing the same weapon for the 5th time. You know, first the Winter Wolf when we had the Mars DLC, which was I really liked it back then. And then we had the Werewolf Reprisal in Arrivals, and then Season 18, again, with different perks and different perk pool updates since then, and last year's version, this year's version. Honestly, I'm pretty sure you all know at this point that the Werewolf is statistically a great gun. It's no secret. In fact, I'm willing to bet many of you didn't even bother to grind for a new version of the Werewolf, since you likely have gone through several different iterations of the weapon in the past. So I'm genuinely curious how many of you intentionally sought out this weapon again this year, now that it has access to Lone Wolf, and how many of you passed on it entirely. Do you ever feel loot grind fatigue in this game after having grinded the same weapon this many times? I went for it simply because I'm late to the party here. I'm literally just now diving back into Destiny after almost 3 months off, and I wanted to try the new perk out because I haven't really used it on anything else yet. It definitely proved to me the value that a single perk can have, because that stickiness from roughly 40 meters is extremely noticeable to me. I think this weapon was begging for that perk to be on it, and now that Bungie delivered, we've got a great gun to grind for. But I wonder how many people passed on the opportunity just because of looters' fatigue. Either way, it looks like we're about to get even more loot to grind for the second part of the Revenant episode that's about to drop. Gonna have some new things to chase, new things to use and test and review, and I'd love to read the room here. What's the general vibe towards Revenant these days? Are we digging the content? We digging the loot, digging the dungeon? And I'm especially curious, how many of you are actively playing PvP right now? While getting this footage, I did actually have a good bit of fun, and overall, I had a pretty decent map rotation too. but I did notice some questionable connections from time to time and the signs of a lower population, like leaving lobbies for a new one after a match and then finding myself right back in the same one with the same people, or people leaving our match mid-match and then rejoining because they were like, I'm not enjoying this match, we're getting stomped. They left, they re-queued, and the game threw them right back in the match they had just left. I mean, it kind of felt like I was queuing a match of Team Fortress 2 or something. It felt like it was just the 12 of us online at the time. But I wonder how much of that was, things like region and connection. But I'd love to get my finger on the pulse of the general vibe these days from the community. Are we playing PvP? We liking PvP? Where are y'all at on that? Let me know in the comments, would you? Either way, I'm enjoying diving back into the game, and this week I'll be looking to post some content with my thoughts on a couple of new sidearms in the game. I know I'm late to the party, but I'm going to do it anyways because I want to. And the new perk combos that we got with Jurassic Green, I'll probably cover some of that too. Jurassic Green, or as Cool Guy calls it, TV's micro-peen gun, which I try not to take personally, but it's hard, unlike my micro-peen. But that's life. What are you going to do? Thanks for watching the video today, and hopefully you were able to observe those 3 key things about the werewolf in the gameplay. I hope you have the loveliest of days. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.